going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Welcome to the show, guys.
20 participants.
You guys get in?
Everyone in?
Get started.
All right, guys, you want to just turn off your mics? Some of you guys I can hear. So, welcome, guys. We still got a couple guys coming in. All right, great. We got a big crew here. I love it. I love it. Well, everyone say hi to Maarten over here. Okay. He's a 2008 Olympian from the Netherlands. He won the gold medal at the 10 kilometers open water swim. I don't know if you guys saw that on YouTube, but before that, he would beat cancer. All right. I mean, so that's incredible stuff right there. I mean, one, he beat cancer, which is hard enough. Two, he won a gold medal in an incredible race. I mean, if you guys watched that, that was an insane race. I mean, it was a lot of great strategy there. And I like your comment, Maarten. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, guys, let's give him a big round of applause. You know, a virtual round of applause to Maarten here. And let's welcome him to this
Let's get in.
event. All right, Glenn, you have your mic on. Okay. Coach Glenn, you have your mic on. All right, here we go. All right, Maarten, take it away.
Yeah, what kind of questions you have, Jim? What do you want to hear?
Well, let's talk. You know, talk about.
Gunnar, did you get in?
A little bit. Glenn, you have your mic on.
Gunnar, Hunt.
All right. So, Maarten, talk a little bit about your, leading up to, like, I mean, you beat cancer and going into the Olympics, and just tell us your mindset of what it was like to beat the cancer and everything.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think I'm very excited that I'm here with you, and I'm here with you, Jim, because you were my coach as well when I was very young, when I was 14. But I see some swimmers that are, let me guess, the same age, a little bit younger, maybe even.
Yeah, there's a couple age groups here. I mean, I think the oldest person we have is maybe 17, 18 on here.
Yeah.
And so we got a wide range of swimming talent here.
Yeah, awesome. So I was in your team when I was 14, and you trained me for 3 months. And I think in my childhood that were the toughest 3 months of my practice. That very, very learning full, and that learned me a lot, because I think to swim fast, hey, you have to work hard. So in my country, I was one of the best swimmers in my age group. Qualified for European Youth Championships and competitions like that. And it all went very well, but when I was 19, I was diagnosed leukemia. What really was devastated, I was in so much pain. I had to undergo chemotherapy. I had a stem cell transplant. And I think the thing that that really taught me that period was that when I was your age, when I was 14 and a little bit older, I really believed that I was the master of my own destiny. And if I worked hard, then I could accomplish everything I wanted. But there I was, all of a sudden I was laying in a hospital bed. And I could not do a thing. It was not because I did something wrong.
I worked on my phone.
It was just I had bad luck. Inside that hospital, I was laying down. And the strange thing is, maybe you heard Lance Armstrong tell about his disease, and he always the thing I hear from him is that when he threw up, that he thought about that he threw out the cancer cells, and in that way he was beating cancer himself. And from all the cancer patients inside my hospital room, the strange thing was, and maybe you can reflect on that later, Jim, but the strange thing was, I was the most lazy patient that you can imagine. I was not doing a thing. And the other fellow patients I was with, they put on all fitness courses, and they were going on a home trainer, and they wanted to try to stay fit for the next chemotherapy. I hated that. I did
Oh,
not do
really?
a thing. I was the most lazy patient you can imagine. Eventually, I had that stem cell transplant, and I had the luck to recover. But the thing that I was taught, that in my childhood, I thought I was the master of my own destiny, and I should work hard and try to achieve everything I wanted. And at the hospital, I was taught that a lot of things that happen to us are caused by bad luck and by luck. And I had bad luck that I was in the hospital bed, and I had bad luck that I was diagnosed cancer. But I had the luck that I had a second chance, and the stem cell transplant worked, and I could try to set up my life again. At first, I thought I did not want to swim anymore, because I'm not sure how that is with you guys, but almost my whole childhood was about swimming and trying to increase my swimming speed and train a lot and set out the holidays so that it fits nice together with all the competition I was doing. And in the hospital bed, I thought, well, let's get rid of that. I start a new life. And that life is not about setting goals and trying to achieve those goals. It's not about swimming, but it's about enjoying every day like it's my last day. And I did that. But I quickly noticed that if you live your life every day like it's your last day, then every day is the same. And for me, that's very boring indeed. So when I realized that, and when I experienced that it did not work like that, I set goals again. And the goals were about swimming. And I started to swim again. And I started to try to improve my speed and set new goals. And then the Olympic Games were inside of what I could achieve, I thought. And the luck I had was that when Jim was coaching me, I was doing 400 freestyle, I was doing 1500 freestyle. I'm still proud of the time I made, Jim, because I think I did 1643 long course.
That's correct.
When I was 14 or 15, what was the result of very hard work. But the 1500 meters were still a little bit short for me. So I needed to have the longer distances. So I started to focus on the open water swimming, the 10 kilometers, on the 25 kilometers. And I built up some dreams about being maybe one of the world's best open water swimmers. But I was not sure if that would take me anywhere, because the open water was not part of the Olympic program. And only in 2005, the open water was entered with the Olympic program. And all of a sudden, I had a shot to compete at the Olympic Games. And I was so excited because I did not think that I was able to do so. But all of a sudden, I had the luck that it was combined and the open water swimming was in. I think for me as a swimmer, I was not the fastest swimmer, and I think there were lots of swimmers faster than I was. But what I did was that I did everything I could to increase my chances. And those last couple of years before the Olympics, I was training for 7 hours a day. I was laying in an altitude tent to make more red blood cells for 15 hours a day. I used light therapy with weird light glasses, and everything I could do, I did. Still with doing so, I was not the fastest swimmer. And the Australian bookmakers, before the race, they had me on 1-40. So if you put in $1, if I would win, you will get $40 back, because the chance of me to win was so small. And I think they were right, because I was not the fastest swimmer. But the good thing about the open water swimming is that it's a strategic game as well. And I'm not sure if you sometimes watch strategic games like cycling, but there's a whole tactic with slipstreaming and increasing your speed. And the weird thing was that there were swimmers in my swimming career I only beat once. And that was during my Olympic Games, because the whole strategic game played out very nicely. And all of a sudden, I was there with the Olympic gold medal. Well, I thought that I would not have the capacity to join the Olympic Games. I didn't think a lot about winning the Olympic gold medal. But despite that, I did everything I could to increase the chances, to set goals and trying to achieve those goals. I think I did that, Jim, not because I wanted to win that Olympic gold medal. I think I did all those things with an altitude tent and that light glasses and 7 hours a day of swimming, because I really enjoyed the game of setting goals and trying to achieve those goals and doing absolutely my best. And I even believe if I would have finished the Olympic Games 4th or 7th, what was far more realistic than winning the winning the gold medal, it would still be okay, because I really enjoy the game of trying to achieve my personal best. And I'm a very lucky guy that personal best was indeed winning the Olympic gold medal. Maybe it's fun because the Olympic gold medal is just in the room outside this room. So I will get it very quickly and I will show it to you.
Very nice. Thank you.
Just a couple of seconds.
All right. Pretty cool, guys. Give me thumbs up. Great story so far, huh? Unbelievable. Beat odds, beat cancer. Wow, that's pretty cool,
That
man.
is.
That is awesome.
Awesome, huh?
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Do you have some questions, Jim?
Yeah. So, I mean, you talked about, just with your talk, so there's actually betting on swimming. You could actually place money on you and
Absolutely.
win money. Oh my God. So that's incredible. I mean, so there's nothing like that here. I mean, there's no betting on swimming, but that's pretty wild. So when you said you trained 7 hours a day, was that mostly swimming, or was it like doing weightlifting? I mean, tell us a little bit about your preparation.
Actually, I did not weightlift at all. I did some core body things, but mainly swimming. I think I did for 6 or 6.5 hours swimming and just half an hour a day core body work. Yeah.
So how much meters did you swim a day leading up to the Olympics?
I think around 20 to 25K. And I say 7 hours a day, but I don't think it was all. So I did Monday and Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays were full days, and then Wednesday, Saturdays were half days.
Okay. Now, did you have a coach that would coach you, or would you do that on your own?
No, I was being in the Netherlands, and in Eindhoven, you had a very good club where Pieter van der Hogeband, 3 times Olympic gold medalist, 100 and 200 meters freestyle, was practicing as well. So I was joining that club, but and Pieter, he always tells people that it was very nice to train with me because when he entered the pool, I was already swimming for 1 hour, and then his practice was done, and I moved for the last hour as well. So he really liked to train with me.
So what kind of mental games did you play with yourself to stay motivated for that long a period of time? I mean, training that long. I mean, how did you keep your mind going and your motivation every day, your soreness, and just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think the key thing with that is that what really motivates me is to set smaller targets and take every practice one at a time. I really enjoy setting goal times and see if I can achieve those goal times. And sometimes my coach hated me that every 100 meters I was looking at the clock, looking at my splits. So I really like that data and see the improvements if I'm faster the next day or the next week or the next year. And I think that's really motivates me.
Nice. So you talked about a little bit about your background a little bit as an age grouper, and like in your video that how you got involved with swimming is that you wanted to beat your sister, which I actually coached too, Etta, and that was a lot of pleasure too. Yes, so that was a lot of fun. Now, how did your family get you started in swimming? I mean, why swimming?
Yeah, well, I think my parents, and I think that's very wise. I think they understand that doing sports is very good preparation for life. And they didn't care about what sport it was. So when I was 7 or 8 years old, I was doing athletics, I was doing soccer, I was doing volleyball, I was doing speed skating, I was doing all different kinds of sports. And me and my sister, we enjoyed swimming the most. I think we enjoyed it the most because we were the best at it compared to the other sports. So swimming it was.
Great, that's awesome. So when you are you like a national celebrity in your country? Do you walk down the street and people recognize you? I mean, are you on billboards?
Well, yeah, it was like that after 2008, and now it is like that again because I did something crazy. I'm not sure if you heard about that. The last couple of years is that with the history I had with leukemia and the cancer patient, I decided I wanted to help fellow cancer patients to raise funds for cancer research. And I was looking for a way to raise funds. I didn't swim for a long time, so I was not sure what I could do. And then I thought about trying to swim again. But I got back into the water, but I was very slow. And in Rio de Janeiro in 2016, there was another Dutch guy winning the Olympic gold medal again. But compared to him, even if I was going to multiple hours a day of swimming again, that guy of the Netherlands was still a lot faster than I was. So I thought, well, if I want to raise funds, it should not be about being fast. It should be about swimming for a long time. So I decided to swim the 11 City Tour. And the 11 City Tour is kind of the Super Bowl in the Netherlands. It's the biggest athletic event you can imagine. It's bigger than when the Olympic Games are. And it's a speed skating event. And the speed skating event, the last time it was held in 1997, maybe because of global warming, because you have to have enough ice. But that's the biggest athletic event in my country. So I thought, well, if I want to raise funds, maybe I can swim that 11 City Tour. At that time, I was not sure how many kilometers it was. So I drove back home and I was Googling a bit. And then I noticed that it was 200 kilometers. I said, well, that's quite a long swim. And I'm not sure if I will be capable of doing that. But hey, I can give it a shot. And I can see how far I will go. So I did my first attempt in 2018. I did not finish. I was pulled out of the water by my doctor, and he obligated me to quit after 163 kilometers of swim.
Wow.
But the good thing was we raised more than 5 million euros for cancer research. And that was because we had lots of media attention, and all those people were following my swim. It took me 53 hours. Of course, because if you do not succeed the first time, you can always try a second time. So last year I tried it again, and this time I did finish after 74 hours of swimming. And with that, we raised more than 6 million euros.
Wow.
And with all those media attention those two attempts had, people do recognize me on the street, and they ask for pictures and to build up to that media attention. You were talking about billboards, but literally there were more than 300 billboards we arranged with the foundation. We had it all for free to cover the event. So if you are at the right time, at the right place, you will see some. You can see some billboards of my face. Yeah.
So that's incredible. So I mean, you know, we're not in the metric system here. So 200 kilometers equals to about 120 miles. Am I correct about that, Maarten?
I think so, yes.
So you said 74 hours. So how would you swim for like 6 hours and take a break, or how was that accomplished?
No, taking a break is cheating. No, I was at first, because if you ask money, then you have to give it your all. So 6 hours and then take a break. It's not real. So at first I even thought that sleeping was cheating. So my first attempt, I slept for 40 minutes. I did a power nap twice for 20 minutes. But that caused me to see things that were not there, and that made my doctor obligate me to quit. So this last year's attempt, I slept for 7 hours in total. But besides, it's really 7 hours of sleeping and 68 hours of swimming. And it took me 73, 74 hours, yeah.
So when you slept, where did you sleep? On the boat or in a hotel or?
No, we had like a small platoon in the water. There was a boat next to me as a swimmer all the time. And there was a platoon and there was a small tent, and I was sleeping in that small tent.
Wow. So how were the crowds here? I mean, you said it was sort of like the Super Bowl. I mean, were people like cheering and everything? I mean,
there were thousands and thousands of people on the side of the water. And the crazy thing was that when I was winning Olympic golds, it was about me showing that I was the fastest. And the good thing about the 11 City Tour was that it was not something about me. It was about that I had the motivation I had because of the leukemia diagnosis. But hey, 1 every 3 people are diagnosed cancer. So many people are stuck with that. that it was about doing something together, and all those people next to the water and all those media attention. It felt doing something together and helping each other, and that was even a nicer feeling than winning Olympic gold, I think.
Wow, that's an incredible story. I mean, 74 hours. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, how many days is that, guys? Can anyone figure that out real quick? How many math people? 3 days straight. You know, we swim for 2 hours a day. Think about that for next time we jump in the water. All right, that's some great motivation. So, what kind of mind games did you play with yourself there? I mean, to keep on going, and you know, was there a clock that you talk about goal setting, but
Yeah.
there you're in a canal, right? In a canal, or
Yeah.
and I mean,
Well,
you
it
couldn't.
was funny thing. I just told you about the daytime, improving yourself and split times and focusing on that. My best buddy during those 3 days where there was one clock, and I saw the clock ticking every minute by, and every 1,000 meters I got a split time. So it was always thinking about the next thing that would happen, about my next drinking moment, about my next split time. And a fun thing that was very important was that because it was not about finishing that 200 kilometers, but it was about raising as much funds as possible. There was strange things happening, because the finish time was very important, not for me finishing the race, but it was very important for the media attention. So we had to do it in that way that we had to finish prime time to have the fullest attention. So after 2 days of swimming, I was ahead of schedule a couple of hours. And everyone was very happy because I was ahead of schedule, but I hated it because I had to swim slower. I had to decrease my speed, and I hated that.
Yeah.
And eventually, because the best media time to finish my race was 7:30 in the evening, the most prime time you can imagine. And my first person of contact with the broadcasting organization, he was sending me a WhatsApp after that. He was so proud, but he had one small feedback, and he told me, "Maarten, you were 15 seconds late. You said 7:30 and you were 15 past 7:30." So that was quite ideal.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you know, I have a few more questions, but like right now, I'm sure these guys have some questions. So if you want to raise your hand on your screen, if you have any questions right now, you know, to talk to 2008 10K Olympic gold medalist. All right, go ahead, Ava J. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
What, like, when you were swimming in the canal and you were swimming for 3 days, what did you eat during that time?
Yeah. So I got gels every 15 minutes, and I got a full meal every 5 hours. At the first attempt I did, my carbohydrate intake was far too low. So the second adjustment I made was eating more. So eating every 15 minutes really helped. The fun thing was that because the first year I was only eating those gels, and I got so fed up with eating gels for 3 days, I started to complain to my coaches. And because it was live broadcasted, people could hear me complain. And there was just randomly people on the side of the water giving me slices of pizza and giving me all sorts of foods to help me out. So that was very fun. But we arranged that a little bit better last year with having those full meals.
That's awesome. So speaking of food, real quick, when you were in America for that summer, what was your favorite place to eat food-wise? Can you remember?
I'm not sure. I think eating some good pastas. But I think I ate some nice burgers as well.
All right, guys, any more questions here? Go ahead, raise your hands. Go ahead, Noah Long.
Oh, what do you think is more important, like the physical strength or like the mental strength of the race?
Yeah, I think both. I think the mental strength is very important. I think both. If even if both are very strong, it is not 100% guarantee success. So it always helped me to understand that doing those crazy things, as well as heading for Olympic gold, but also heading for those 200 kilometers, there's always a little bit uncertainties that you have to be prepared for. I think the mental thing really starts when things happen that you do not want. Like, for instance, with the Olympic Games, of course I was heading for gold, but I knew that my chances were small. And all of a sudden, the fastest swimmer of the whole field is swimming in front of the fields. And I did not notice him getting away from us. So at first, I was devastated that I saw him swim over there in front of the pack. And then I asked myself, okay, what can I do? And then I understood that he was a far faster swimmer than I was. So I decided, okay, well, the Olympic gold medal is gone. Let's go for the silver medal then. And I think the mental health, the mental strength part is that if something happens that you do not want, that you can be flexible and think, okay, what can I do? And sometimes that's a step back, sometimes that's a side step, but I think you need to be very strong to move on. And with the Olympic Games, strange thing happened that faster swimmer wasn't swimming as fast as I thought, and I got on his feet, and I had a slipstream, and at final I was the one winning that gold medal. With that 200 kilometers, of course, you are in lots of pain after a couple of days of swimming, and I think what really helps is that you understand. I think that's a part of your practice every day, that gym gives you a set and that you know you will be in pain. And of course, it's just a normal thing that if you are in pain, that you want to quit. That's just how our body works. But I hope that you have the experience that if you are in pain, but if you go through that because you want that so bad, that afterwards it's still fun. And with that pain is okay as well. But you have to be some sort of mental strong to go through that and to accept and to be comfortable in the not comfortable situation you are there. Does that answer your question a bit, Noah?
It did, thank you.
Good.
Good, guys. Come on. Answer some questions here. Come on. Anyone? Yeah? Who was that? Sorry, I didn't see that. Who had their hand up? Go ahead. Just talk. I can't. Go ahead, Hunter. Hunter, go ahead. You gotta unmute yourself, buddy.
My fault. what kind of dryland do you do? Is it more power or is it more endurance?
No, it's a lot of core body endurance. And with those 200 kilometers, I did lots of stretching as well. Because doing such a long distances, you get little annoyments everywhere. So to be all-round flexible is the best thing you can do. As an endurance athlete, I do not do lots of weight.
Okay,
Hey,
thank you.
guys, go ahead, Jilly.
What would be the best piece of advice that you would give to some, like a younger kid starting out swimming?
I would say that the most important thing is that you enjoy to swim, that you enjoy to set goals and trying to achieve those goals. And if you set goals and if you are ambitious as you are and having the coach that you do have, it happens that you can set your goals quite high. And you can work very hard, and then sometimes you do achieve your goals, and then you are very happy. But I hope that even if you do not achieve your goals all the time, because I think me and Jim, when I was 14, we set some goals, and some goals I did not achieve. But hey, that's okay, as long as you wrap yourself together and set new goals and try again.
Good, nice. All right, Ava K.
Would you swim the 11 city thing again? If you had the choice, would you swim it again?
Yeah, it was very fun, but the unfortunate situation is that because I already did that, it does not make sense to do it again. And that doesn't fit me because I always try to do something extra. So repeating is not the thing I do. And even if I would, then there will be not, lots of media attention and as much funds as I raised, because it's about repeating and it's not about doing something new. So I do not think I will do the 11th City 2 again. I do think that I really like to set goals and trying to achieve those goals. And I think that will always have a big role in my life. But I have to think about something new, I think.
So during that, Maarten, during that 74 hours, I mean, was the media filming you that whole time, or, I mean, were you on live TV the whole time, or?
No, it was live. It was through internet, 24 hours live. And there were, I think, the biggest Dutch television organization. They were live in those 74 hours, around 6 hours or so. But they set up that live stream, and the amazing thing was that they put on that live stream, and at forehand they thought, who is going to watch that swimmer swim for 3 days? Who is interested in watching that? And after they had the data, they were so surprised, because they are live streaming championships, leagues, they are live streaming Olympic Games, but nothing like that gets close to me swimming for 3 days. There were, in my country and in the Netherlands, quite a small country, so we are with 16 million people, and that live stream was viewed by 4 million of them.
Wow. You had 4 million people watching you swim.
Yeah.
Wow. Think about that, guys. That's incredible. Any more questions, guys? Go ahead. Who wants to ask one? So talk a little. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Addie. Was that you? I saw a hand go up. Casseroles? No. Can you talk a little bit? Okay. Can you talk a little bit, Maarten, when you won that gold medal at the Beijing Olympics? You know, it was kind of an upset. I mean, when you touched that wall and you knew that last like 20 meters in that you were in the lead. And and then when you touched the barricade up there, I mean, what was that feeling like? I mean, to win the gold medal. And I'm sure, I mean, that was a goal of yours, but it was also a big surprise.
Yeah. Well, as an Olympic champion, I should tell you that it was like the most amazing experience I ever had. And I expected it to be the most amazing experience. But looking back at that moment, it was so weird because I knew that my chances were so small. And then touching that board, it felt so unreal almost. Unreal that I was competing open water swimmers that were 7 times world champion. On the world championships, I was always 5th or 7th or 6th. And at that most important race of the open water, I won. So it felt unreal. And sometimes I describe it as the same feeling I had with the leukemia diagnosis almost. And that felt so unreal as well, that you did not expect yourself to be in that situation. And yeah, well, that's how I can describe the crazy thing that happened as well was that people think that was the most amazing feeling I ever had to achieve that goal. But the strange thing is that I think I really like to chase the goal. I enjoy chasing my goals rather than getting to my goal. Because if you get to your goal, you cannot change it anymore, which is a bit weird. So people expect me to be the most happy guy after winning Olympic gold, or the most happy guy after finishing those 200 kilometers of swimming. But I'm a bit confused because I miss my goal immediately.
So what's your next goal now? You have one coming up?
Well, I'm not sure, Jim. I'm not sure. I really because the swimming pools are have been closed for a long time. So I have been running some more. I have been cycling some more. So maybe I will do some triathlon stuff, but I'm not sure. And the lesson I learned was that if you set a goal, you have to think quite a long time if that's your goal you want to go for. Because going for Olympic gold or going for the goal that you want to swim 200 kilometers, it doesn't take hours or days, it takes years. So you have to be very careful and take a step back and think about if you really want that. But I'm considering doing more with the runs and the cycling stuff. But most important thing is that I want to continue to raise funds. With those 12 million we raised so far, we funded 27 cancer research projects. So I'm very busy with organizing. I'm the chairman of the voluntarily foundation I'm running. The most hours besides doing sports myself is doing that. And that's just the person I am, I think.
Wow, incredible. Ava J, you have your hand up. Go ahead, Ava J.
So when you were going to the Olympics, how many days did you practice until you left? Like, did you practice for a week, like 3 weeks, and then take a break? take a break for 5 days and then go, or did you like swim for a week, take a break, swim for another day, and then leave?
And then leave is leaving to Beijing, you mean?
Yes.
Well, because Beijing was a different time zone as I was in, we went on a training camp in Hong Kong before, and we trained there for 3 weeks. And immediately going from Hong Kong to Beijing, we did not take any days off. Because I'm not sure how that is with you, but if you are swimming every day, if you miss one day, the second day feels weird, right? So you want to continue that rhythm. So it was training, not taking a day off, flying to Hong Kong, training there for 3 days, flying to Beijing. I was flying in quite late. I'm not sure how that is with the US team, but I was flying in a couple of days before my Olympic race. So after the Olympic opening ceremony. So I did not really have the full Olympic experience, I think, but I didn't really matter because I was only focusing on my race. I thought that I would have that Olympic experience more after my race, but with winning Olympic golds and all the media attention that's brought with that, I was quite busy with that. So I did not have a lot of burgers and partying at the village. But it was quite effective going to my race, focusing on that race, and a couple of days later I was back home again.
So Maarten, I got a question here. So when you were 2008, you're getting ready to start this race. I mean, is there any like signs that you had that you might be able to, that you were on to win to medal? You know, like certain things were happening to you. You know, like you could just tell like something was special was going on, or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Well, I knew that because I was not the fastest swimmer, I was my personal best in 1500s. So when I was 14, with you, I swam 1643. When I grew older, I was not that much far. My best time was 1542, but there was open water swimmers going below 15 minutes, 1500 meters long course. So I was not the one having lots of speed. So the only chance of me to win was to slipstream a lot. So the whole race I was swimming at the back of the pack and sparing my energy. And I knew my only chance was that if the pack would stay together. And I was practicing quite a lot for the last 100, 200 meters. And well, that played out very nicely. So the pack stayed together. That David Davies guy, I think he won a medal in the Athens 1500 2004 Olympics as well in the swimming pool. So he was the fastest, and he was so much faster than I was. But I managed to get him back, and I managed to have his slipstream. And the strange thing was, I think even if those in that last 100 or 200 meters, he would have been a lot faster. But what happened was that he took a longer route, and my route, the last 100 meters, was shorter. And all of a sudden, I was the guy finishing first.
That's awesome. Guys, any questions more here? So, Maarten, you leading up to the Olympics and open water world championship, how much time do you spend in open water compared to the pool training? I mean, do you do most of your training in the pool leading up to the games?
I did all the training in the pool, and the competition I did was in the open water. I think the open water, what's special is the strategic game. It's not that swimming in the open water is a lot of difference than swimming in the swimming pool.
Because we have a couple guys here that are we're going to start doing some open water races in this
Awesome.
area. So
Awesome.
that's part of like USA Swimming wants to help our distance swimming out. And one of the things they want people to do is open water swimming, because USA distance swimming for the men is really in trouble. So one of the proposals at the Olympic Training Center is to try to get people to do open water swimming to help the distance portion of the men's swimming. I mean, we have Katie Ledecky, who's, you know, the top swimmer, but men wise, there's not too many fast men distance swimmers right now. So I have a couple swimmers on the team here that we were on our way to do a couple open water swims. And,
Awesome.
you know, and one of the things they talked about in the Olympic Training Center is that you do not need a pool you do not need to go open water swimming to get ready for these events. You can do all your training in a pool, you know. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that.
The same thing, yeah.
So anyone else got any questions here? I mean, I'm really glad that Maarten's got to spend some time with us. I mean, I thought it was very good. And so we got like I do a rapid fire questions here for the last part. So I'm gonna give you two things. You just say which one you like, okay? So hopefully it's a little bit what you have over there in the Netherlands. So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Which one do you prefer? Coffee, okay.
Drink far too much coffee.
Bagel or toast? Do you have bagels there or toast?
Well, I remember that you have awesome bagels, but we do not really have lots of bagels, so we have toast.
Okay,
but it's
good,
more like
good.
a practical thing. I would prefer bagel if it was easy to have here.
Meat or fish? Meat or fish?
Meat, please.
Awesome. All right. Kicking or pulling? Which one do you prefer?
Pulling.
Pulling.
Yeah.
With paddles too?
No, not really.
All right. Well, guys, do we have any more questions? Any more? Let's everyone put up your thumbs up, claps on your screen. All right. Show Maarten our appreciation. I really appreciate your time. All right. What time is it there right now in the Netherlands?
It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. So you're a couple hours ahead of us. All right. Good. You're in the future. Very nice, guys. Thanks so much, Maarten. I really appreciate your time. All right. This
Very
is really
welcome.
good. And I hope
Thank you for
everyone
having me.
enjoyed it. Okay. Thanks a lot. And you got 30 fans here from Racer X rooting you on every time you go. All right.
Awesome. Train hard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.